Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. You are welcome in Jesus' name. Today is what we call the family interactive service. Praise the Lord. Where we get one of us to come to discuss a topic of interest and share the word with us to a certain level, and then we discuss. Everybody's able to make contributions of his own understanding or views about whatever topic is being discussed. Praise the Lord. And today we'll be having one of our youths to come and share with us our thoughts towards aspirants on some areas of parenting. Praise the Lord. It's part of trying to start listening to one another in the church. Praise the Lord. We want to listen to our youth. We want to listen to the teenagers. We want to listen to the children and also the adults and the elders. Praise the Lord. So today we'll be listening to one of our youths and hear the way they view things, especially in this present and ever-changing world. Praise the Lord. So that can help us in our parenting and understanding our children better. Because we have discovered that one of the major challenges of parents and children is the fact that many of us don't really understand our children these days. Things have evolved, and they keep on telling us some things, but sometimes we are not listening. Sometimes we are even hearing, but we don't understand where they are coming from. We are still faced with stereotypes. That is not the way my father brought me up. That was in the 60s, the 70s. Today they ask questions. Today they argue. Today you must tell them why you are taking this step. Now let us hear from them so that we can also learn from them. So I invite Maureen to come to minister to us today.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Guys, I'm so nervous. Let me just be honest. I've never done this. But I just wanted to thank you for giving me a chance to speak to you today. Pastor called me to have a conversation with me to check up on me. And I just told him some of my thoughts. And then the next week he told me we're taking interactive service. And I was like, okay. But I just want to thank him for listening to us, and I pray God continues to bless him in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So today I'm going to be talking about safeguarding our children and protecting our children. And I've just written some few points and factors that you can consider when you're going to run up text. 127, it says the fruit of the womb. Arrows are in the hand of a mighty hand, so are children that have his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. So if I just unpick those three verses a bit, first of all, the first thing is that children are heritage from God. So ultimately, children belong to God, and they are a gift from God, and we have a duty to look after them and make sure they have their best interests at heart. Also, children are compared to arrows. So now we know that generally sticks are, unruly, naughty, and hard. However, it takes art to shape them into what becomes arrows. In the same way, you need to nurture a child when they're born and shape them into being who God wants them to be and fulfilling the will God has in their lives. So now we're going to look at what is the definition of safeguarding. So the general definition of safeguarding is used as a term in the United Kingdom to denote measures to protect the health, well-being, and human rights of individuals, children, young people, and vulnerable adults in order for them to live free from abuse, harm, and neglect. Also, if you go on the government website, this includes protecting children from abuse, maltreatment, and exploitation, preventing harm to children's health and development, ensuring children grow up with the provision of safe and effective care, and taking action to enable your children have the best outcomes in life. So basically, also the Bible obviously says that we are guardians for children, and also you have a legal duty to make sure that you're looking after the best interests of the child. So now I'm just going to look at some factors that can aid you make sure you're safeguarding and protecting the interests of your child, and I'm going to talk about some measures that can help you do that. This is a non-exhaustive list, you have to obviously use measures that are appropriate for your child, but these are just some ideas I've gotten from the research I made. So the most important thing here is relationship. You can't really safeguard your child or know if something is wrong with your child if you don't have a good relationship with your child. And that ultimately starts from the first day your child is born. You can't really build a relationship from when you're 10 years old. It's something you have to work on every day. So you have to show interest in the interest your child has. What are their favorite shows? If I asked your child today, what's your favorite show, and I asked you, would your answers correlate or would they be too different? So ultimately, you have to have interest in what your child has an interest in for you to know when there's something wrong with your child, for you to protect them. The next thing is communication and quality time. So talk to them, take time to find out how the day was going. If you look at the lifespan of a child, more than half of our years are spent in school. So although you're their parent, you have other factors that implement into the upbringing of the child, and one of them is schools. So you have to take time to know how their day is going. When I was younger, every time I came back from school, my dad would ask me how was my day, and I would tell him, oh, my day was fine, but that was never an acceptable answer to the father I had. He wanted to know how my day was, like every single detail. If you tell him your day was fine, he'll say, no, that's not good enough, you need to tell me how your day was. And this way, when you ask for details of how your child, you'll be able to listen and danger signs or certain things that you know more about it. You can then pick up so much on working as you give them the attention and you're in the wrong place. So although you're working, you have to make sure you give them a friends. Do you know where their friends live? Is your child being bullied and your child is being bullied? And you have no idea that your child is being groomed on the internet. Do you watch the kind of shows your child watches? Do you have an interest in it? Do you have some kind of safeguards to make sure that they don't stray? Like if they're on YouTube, you have recommendations on the side. A child can easily click on a recommendation that is not appropriate for their age. Do you have restrictions to make sure that they're not taken on the wrong path? It's really, really important that you have an interest in what they watch and what they do and in their school lives to make sure that they're a healthy individual all around. The next point to consider is empowerment. Now, when I think about empowerment, it's giving power to your child so that they cannot be used or exploited. Now, the best way to empower your child is to give them education. Most parents give education to their child, but in the academic sense. But you need to educate your child about other topics, especially in African households. One of the important things to educate your child about is sex education. Now, I know most African parents, they shy away from it, they don't want to talk about it. But honestly, even in cartoons, there's subliminal messages that have sex messages underlining in cartoons. Now, if you don't control the narrative and tell your child and educate them, someone else will educate your child and they might educate the child in the wrong way. Now, obviously, you have to have restrictions. Educate your child according to the age they are in. It can just be simple as, if you have a 5-year-old daughter, you can be giving her a shower and tell her, I'm showering you now, but I'm just letting you know that if anyone touches you in this place and that place, please report to mommy. You haven't exactly told her what sex is, but you're educating her slowly about her body and sex education, so that when they go through the puberty age, they don't think it's weird when they have changes happening to them. Me, myself, maybe I was different, but I had a really good sex education from my parents. And then I know in primary schools, they give you the options to let your children go through sex education. My parents never opted out, so I was never naive. I knew exactly what my body was going through. I knew everything about sex education. Obviously, you have to have restrictions, but it's better you empower your child and you control the narrative and give them that information than let society give that child the information, because they might give them the wrong information, which is actually much worse. Another point to consider today is safety measures. I read a story about a 2-year-old daughter. Her mom fell down and she was actually dying. And it was just the mom and the 2-year-old girl in the house. And the 2-year-old was able to call the ambulance. She knew how to call the ambulance on her phone. She knew her full name. She knew the number of the house and the full address, and she was only 2 years old. Now, if I ask you all here, your 2-year-olds, do they know their full name? Do they know the full address of your house? And do they know how to contact 999 in an emergency? Now, obviously, as Christians, we do pray that we would never fall in a situation where we would have to have an emergency. But at the same time, train your child. When Proverbs 22 verse 6 said, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. It's not just talking about training up a child as a Christian. It's talking about training up a child so they become a well-rounded human being. This includes training them up in safety measures. Teach them how to call 999. Teach them their full name. Teach them the full address of where you live. You can do this by having simple playing doctors and nurses. Buy them a doctor set. Or pretend daddy's sick. Check daddy. Okay, what should we do next? Call 999. What's your address? Those are simple ways. It's plain to you, but it's actually implementing the things that the child needs to know. And unconsciously, they won't know, so that when it comes to a situation, when they need to use that information, they can use it. Also, when it comes to spending quality time with your child, it's better you spend quality time outside the home. Change the surroundings. So something I've read about is simple things as mommy, daughter and daddy dates, and son and mommy dates. It's just simply you as a dad dressing up in your suit, tell your daughter to dress up in her dress, and take her out on a date. It's her first date. Simple. It's very simple. That way, you can dialogue with your child and you can listen to what they're saying, but at the same time, you're showing that child the appropriate way they should be treated in the future. It doesn't take a lot for you to take a day off work and to take your daughter out to her favorite restaurant, or to take her to the cinema and take her out for a date. This is so important because children are very impressionable, and at a young age, they're literally like sponges. What they see is what they take in. They're just taking in. So it's very important you alert them to the dangers that can be out there, and you put measures so they can understand how to react and report to you when such measures happen. The last factor that, another factor that you can consider in regards to safeguarding your children is your surroundings. And I think out of all the points, this is the biggest one. In the Nigerian or whatever African culture, it's very common for everyone to be your auntie and uncle. Now that's very good, but you should be careful who has access to your children. It shouldn't be every auntie or every uncle that you should just happily leave your child with. My mom's friend recently, she found out that her 3 daughters were abused by her cousin, and she had no idea they were all sexually abused. So when she came over here, she left her children in the hands of her brother to look after them, and she used to send him money to take care of them, so they were able to come back here. And when they came here, her first daughter, she was studying nursing, and she had bipolar, and she was really struggling in her studies. And one day she just talked to her mom and her sisters and were like, uncle sexually abused me. And then the other sisters were like, he abused me too. And I was like, that's really weird that your 3 daughters were abused by your brother, and you had no idea that your 3 daughters were abused, one, and secondly, none of them spoke to each other about it. Like, how crazy is that? It's very important that you build dialogue between your children. You can't safeguard them if you don't have a relationship. That is the most important thing. If you want to protect them, you have to have a relationship. And like I said, the same way you would go to a school and expect the teachers to have a DSP check, which is a disclosure and borrowing service check, before they take care of your child. It's the same way you should mentally do a DSP check on each person that takes care of your child. You shouldn't happily leave your child with anyone. I know it's in our culture to have aunties and uncles, but at the same time, you should be careful who you leave your child with. Also, you should be able to read your child. Most African parents say, when I look at you, you should understand what I'm saying. In the same way, when your child walks in, you should be able to read their countenance to know that, something has happened. I shouldn't have to say it. It goes both ways. It's all about relationship. So yes, when you wink at us, don't eat at their house. We should be able to read it. But when I come in, I shouldn't have to say anything for you to know that there's something wrong with me, even if I'm 2 years old. And the last thing I would like to say is, a lot of children, and I've spoken to quite a few people, they have a lot of resentment towards their parents because their parents left them in the hands of people who abuse them, but their parents still don't know. They haven't told their parents. They left them with auntie, go to auntie for a day, I'm going to work, stay at this auntie's house, this uncle's house. And in that process, that child was abused. But their parents never knew, and they have still not told their parents, but they hold a lot of resentment towards their child. Now, like the verse we read here, Psalm 127 verse 3 to 5. Children are a heritage from God, so it means that you have to answer to God on how you train your children, because ultimately you are just their guardian here on earth. So it's really important that you're careful who you let have access to your children. Now, the last factor I would like to talk about is prayer. Now, although as parents, you can do your best to take, safety guards and put measures in to protect your child. But the truth is, no matter how great of a parent you are, you can never be everywhere your child is. So the best safety measure to protect your child is prayers. Prayers go where your eyes cannot see. And you can equally pray to God that, reveal to me things that I don't know about my child so I can help my child. So it's very important that as parents you pray for your child daily and cover them so that they are protected. That concludes my message for today. Thank you for listening. So now I believe it's the interactive session next. So does anyone have any questions or contributions to make? Please know that I am not a professional in this area, and me myself, I have no experience bringing up children. So it's best to put your questions to the parents. So does anyone have any questions or contributions?
Praise the Lord. I think that's one of the things that we're gracious to God about in this church. We're so blessed with a lot of resources. And may the Lord bless us to be able to utilize these resources in Jesus' name. Amen. I felt like we've imported somebody from Hawaii. Where is the farthest place on that we can invite? Well done. Really, really impressive. Please, there's a lot of points there. A lot of them, we understand some of them more than even what you're saying. So we know what you're saying is absolute truth. But as parents also, we have to be very, very careful. Maybe sometimes we have to try and train as a drama. Sometimes we absorb things and hard things out. You remember the last time when the teenagers came and they did, what did you call what you did last time? The talk show. So one of the really, really important questions that they raised, one of the reasons why they did that show is that one of them said that something happened in school and she came home to tell her parents, and the parents took the side of the other people, didn't believe them. So, which is sometimes natural instinct for us a lot of times, we even blame them more. But if they don't feel trusted, even if they've done wrong, I'm talking to myself also, I'm just saying that we should try. Whatever they do, whatever they say, we listen to them, we pretend and ask them questions to even gain more insight into what they're saying. Not put up a bit of a punishment for them, even when they've done wrong. I'm talking to myself, right? Yeah? I'm advising us that we try and have a lot of buffer to be able to absorb, even when things are tough and bad, to swallow that thing and try and pretend as if we're on their side and ask them questions. Let's get more insight into what they're saying. Let us make them feel that they can talk to us even when they have done a wrong thing. Because if they've done something wrong and they still have confidence to talk to us, we will be able to, they used to say, fix and not make worse. We'll be able to keep the problem where it is instead of making it spreading. So I don't know how we're going to do that, but I'm also praying that God will help us, that whatever we will be able to make our children feel so comfortable that even when they've done wrong, they will still be able to talk to us so that we can fix and not make worse. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
Morning, everyone. What Maureen is saying is very, very true. And also coming from, even me myself, I was raised up in this country. There's also help out there. So some parents who feel like they cannot communicate or don't know how to communicate with their children, there's also support out there. NSPCC, if I'm correct, they do a lot of training courses, they do a lot of faith groups. They have so many things that you can actually speak to them about. It's like a counseling session, you call it, that you can speak to them. And also, in regards to safeguarding children, people that see things ourselves, that we see things that we know that another child is probably going through, we need to be the voice for those children. Because some of those kids don't have the confidence to speak. Some of them don't know who to communicate with. But we need to also we need to be able to spot, okay, this child today doesn't look right. We need to be able to ask those questions, because you'd be surprised. Because they don't talk to their parents or somebody in the family or the household, they'll be able to speak to you. And then it's up to you then to relay that message to the parents, whether the child feels that it's going to be wrong, but you have the responsibility and you are accountable for protecting that child yourself.
Sorry, I want to ask a question. I'm not a parent as well, but I'm just trying to reflect on my childhood. One thing that I was very grateful to my parents for was that, like when I was very young, they taught me what was right and what was wrong. And so, for instance, if I go to school and a teacher says something that's wrong, I don't believe it, I'm sorry, right? Or a senior or a student and stuff, they tell me things about. I was just watching a video on Facebook recently where a father who was a professor was telling a story that his child told him that they had a party and they didn't invite her for the party. Right? When she asked them why they didn't invite her, they said it's because it's something her dad would not like. You know, and she felt very terrible, right? And she was angry with that, right? And so the dad was trying to talk to her about it. And what happened was that at the end of the day, she said she doesn't feel good about it, but she thinks that the rules and regulations that the dad has made, right, are right, and that they are good. That they're very good rules, right? It's just that at the moment, she doesn't feel too good about it. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Autonomy, right? Children need to be able, you need to teach children, right, to be able to know what is good and bad, so that they are part of the process. Like, you want them to be good people, and they feel like they're partners in that process of becoming someone that's good. What I see nowadays, especially in this country, is that a lot of people are overprotective of their children, right? Their children always need them to be by their side, telling them this is what to do, this is what to do, this is what to do, this is what to do. The child doesn't have any idea of what is right or wrong. The child is not a participant in coming up with the rules and regulations that is guiding their life. The child knows, you get a feeling. The child is just like, okay, this is what my dad has said. He doesn't know why the dad has said they should do that. And I think that because tomorrow you're not going to be there, this child is going to be let loose in society without your protective presence. And so while we are trying to protect our children, I also think that we should make them part of the process, so that they are choosing, right, those things that we ask them to do autonomously. They are not choosing it because they're choosing because they think on their own that it's good for them, and not just because that's what their parents want them to do.
Yeah, just in addition to what you said regarding safeguarding and regarding educating the children from about their body parts, I think it's very essential. I'm very happy she mentioned that, because a lot of parents don't do that, and I think it's sad. It's really sad, because then a child discover these things by themselves and then go into the wrong path of life. And I think the word sex shouldn't be something scary for any parents to discuss with a child, because they will face it at some point in their life. And it's not nice when you hear a child telling someone else about what they've done, and you as a parent, you have no idea what that child has done. So it's quite important to discuss what that word says and how valuable it is, and how important it is to understand what their body part is about, as well as the growing older, like she mentioned about, family doctors, growing house and things like that. It's very essential. When you understand the kind of mindset your child has, it's so key, because as they get older, there might be one or two guys or a girl or having interest in each other. You can understand where they're coming from. from. So you don't say, oh, it's when you're like 25 or 26 or 27, that's when you need to start understanding what dating is. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it starts at the early stage. So I can remember faithfully when Brother Bayo mentioned something about, oh, at a certain stage in someone's life, there's no time to when a child is at a certain stage, you can get married. And I think that's one of the fears of a lot of parents. They, okay, you got to be 25, you have to take all this, take courses until you get there. But I don't think that's it's so essential. A child of 21 can know so much of the things. I'm saying it from experience because I have a sister who is married. And if anybody asks me about her, I'm very happy to say she's married and happy because she got married when she knew it was time for her, because she knew exactly, she's educated to know what the wrongs and rights she should face. So if a parent sees a child or come up to you, oh yeah, okay, daddy, I want to get married, don't shut it off. Actually ask questions, ask yourself, have I done enough things to understand that this child has ticked those boxes? If you feel like that's fearful, then you need to check yourself. We need to do our checks. I said, I'm not a parent, but I know at that stage, when I do get there, I need to know that, okay, as I have a child, immediately I need to start educating myself to educate them so that they can be able to face the world at large and not feel any fear. And that's just what I want to bring out.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Maureen. You did a good job. As those points were very instructive. And what I would just add, one of the points you mentioned about relationship, I think that embodies everything. You can't speak to a child about sex education and expect to have a good communication if you don't have a relationship. Talking about taking a child for a date. If you take your child for a date and you don't have a good relationship with your child, I'm sure that your child will tell you that's the most boring date that they've ever had. What am I saying? I want to speak on behalf from a parent's perspective. There are a number of times, I can't even count times that, as little as my kids are, I want to discuss something with them, something sensitive. But I believe, I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of so many parents. But I want to deliver that thing in a way they will understand, in a way that is appropriate for their age. And I don't know how to do it. They mentioned there are resources out there. There are times that I go online to find out how do I deliver this thing to this child. When I was growing up, my parents didn't do that. If I want to, because I think one of the fears is that as believers, we cherish the value that were deposited in us, and we want to impact those values in our children. But if the values are good, but if you use the same method with our children, especially those born here, you might not get the same result. So I go to that lens